Hey, we are group number 2, and our story is called Sherlock Holmes Light Outs. Our style is cinema noir, and our music title is No Cure for Love by Leonard Cohen. Here you can see our collaboration agreement. This is a picture from the style we've chosen. And yeah, you can see the style and the music here. And our target audience are young people with interest in art. And also, we added interest in books. Tabea and Kalina were our user experience team. Dominicas and Patrick were responsible for the coding, and Agna, Andrea, and Ruta were our graphic designers. And the most important thing in our group work was to communicate, which we did in our chat and also through daily meetings, as well as meeting up in school. Yeah, that was our first personas collage. It was about that guy right here, but we got some teachers' feedback, so we changed it to this one, where you can see this is our main person. He drinks a lot of coffee, he has a cat, he lives in London, and he's really interested into books and kind of like a little hipster with his bike and the barber shop, but more yeah, intro focused. Yeah, and our animation is based on the movie Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows. There's also a mysterious woman who disappeared in the movie, and Sherlock Holmes has to solve a murder with only a few clues, and that is basically what we are doing in our animation.
And now about our storyboard. The whole animation begins with the title page with the name. And when we were making our storyboard, we thought that there would not be any interaction, but during the process, we added the start button so the viewer could click on it and go further to the animation. And then the next scene is where you see our two main characters sitting on a bench, and the background is in cinema noir style, so it's really focused on the main personas and on the main things happening. Everything else it's just a bit dark and without any lightning. And we added some accents to the traditional black and white style. We added some red color just to make an accent. And yeah, the next slide is where when we were making our storyboard, we thought that here the light coming from lamp would start flashing, because afterwards it's a dark screen and the sound effects of glass shuddering and a lot of sound. Yes, and during the process we decided to take out the light flashing but change it directly to the black screen. And also, an important thing in our animation is that the light always comes from some object. In the first scenes, it's the lamp who makes the lightning, and in the next scenes, it is the car that has appeared while the blackout. And when the lights come back out in from the car, you see some of the objects that you can click on, and then you can see the information, because there has been a mystery. A man has been killed, and the viewer should find out what was the reason that killed the man. So he can click on all of the objects and see a little explanation. Also, there's a third character, which is Sherlock Holmes, and he is the guy who kind of solves the mystery. And when you find the right object that has killed the man, there comes the next slide. That is an explanation with all of the objects again and the main object that killed the man. And then also you can click on the button to see all the credits. And that is the end.
So we made a sequence diagram to help us code this scene. At first, I didn't follow the diagram to do the code. I just made a counterfeit functions and then replaced them in order with the help of diagram. The code was then done step by step in order. Most of the functions replaces styles of different elements, changes types of displays, plays sound or animations. At the end, I implemented Easter eggs. One more big thing in our code is hovered CSS to make the divs appear on screen. In the styling part, graphics, sound, and SVGs take a big part instead of a lot of animations.
Um, Following the cinema noir black and white style, we mainly worked with these colors to design the characters and other details of the game. Everything also has a red detail to highlight the importance of items and separate it from the background. The faces of characters are completely black or have very little detail to not distract the user and let them focus on surroundings to solve the riddle. All shapes consist of black foundation with different hues of gray as shading to create a structured form. Cinema Noir works mainly with black and white, so we decided to use these two colors with addition of red to make it even more mysterious and scary. Scene is situated in one of the darkest London streets, so Starry Night was a must. We have only one light source from a street lamp, which is replaced by lights from the car after a blackout. It means it is impossible to see anything what is behind. We can only see a bench placed in the center of a background. Main action happens here. We also playing with people's mind by putting fingerprints to the corners. They will want to know what happened and solve a riddle.
So, our two test personas were Audrey, Group 10, and Monica, Group 9. Because the code was not ready, we could only provide them with only one scene. And on this murder scene, you can click, hover, and discover different options. Positive feedback was that both girls knew that it was a murder scene and it was very mysterious. Also, both knew very clear on what they are supposed to click on. It was easy to see that our target group are adults with an interest in art and books. One of them had difficulties to understand the different type of characters, but we think that's because they did not see other scenes. Our possible improvements were to add light in the murder scene to let the user drift away from the right murder weapon, plus add more sound effects to add more drama to the scenes.
Thank you for watching.